Travis, we have made a blunder of an 80s rom-com variety. We have scheduled too many guests for this podcast, and I was wondering if you would help me, just to try and run it like via asking two girls to prom. If you could, we could separate them and have them both be guests, but have neither of them find out. Is that possible? Can we do it?
Are they on separate channels?
You know what? We fucked up already.
Also, what's with this we thing? I didn't do this.
You are...
It's the royal we?
Well, in the fact that some people have theorized that you are just me in a different pitch of voice.
That is entirely possible.
That there is no Travis.
Yeah, so when you guys talk at the same time, that's a real skill Nick has learned to say both voices at once, so...
That is very clever audio editing on the fly.
I've never seen them in the same room.
Ah.
It's true.
Not without calling Travis a bitch.
He wouldn't drink whiskey with me. That's an important caveat. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
Go to sleep for the.
I don't see Travis ever succumb to peer pressure that much. So when it happens, it's pretty glorious. But yes, who do we have on the mic today, Travis?
Me.
We have Travis the bitch, also the god of the pod, and of course me, Nick the merc with the mic, and two of our favorite guests, Patience. Say
hello. Hi, everybody.
Also Justin, this just in Zarian.
Hey,
hello.
It's me again, back from the dead after that long hiatus not being on this podcast, so.
For sure. But, we have been recording with you guys a lot lately for some other projects and stuff like that.
Yes,
so it's been... I'm like, hey, and I was going to ask you both to be on at a certain point, but then you guys were recording today for a separate thing, and I'm like, you know what? While they're both on, why don't we just do a recording with both of them then?
As long as they haven't gotten sick of each other.
Yeah.
Why not?
I thought so,
again? Jeez.
Oh, God, these guys.
So, guys, it's going to be a pretty lax show today. I just wanted to do some, how you doing segment, plus Patience. Travis and I have watched a movie, which hopefully the commentary will go up on the same day that this goes up, which is hopefully today. I don't know. Depends on when I record it. God damn it. But yeah, we watched Six String Samurai.
I'm still mad at Les.
Boy, did we have some thoughts on it.
I'm still mad at Les about that.
Yeah. Have yet to actually talk to Les on
a movie that has ruined friendships that didn't even exist before. Also, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Oscars, since I know Justin is probably excited about that, and is probably the only one here excited about it. But you know what? We'll let him have his time in the sun. And
I host a podcast about the Oscars, dang it. I'm excited about it.
And it strikes me, Travis, we have not played Stranger Than Fanfiction in a long time.
It's true, we have not.
So we should probably play it once again, since we have old hand Patience at it, and we have a newcomer with us. So I think we'll play that at some point in the show.
Oh boy.
Yes.
But first things first, how are we doing, guys? Patience, what's going on?
I'm doing really well, thank you. I have been... I obviously don't really care about the Oscars, much like a lot of other people.
No one does.
Unlike Justin. So I'm glad you had him on today, because when you said that we were going to talk about the Oscars, I was like, I literally have nothing to contribute.
When I said we were going to talk about the Oscars, I meant we were going to give Justin a minute to talk about the Oscars.
Yeah.
Only a minute, we will time.
But I can talk about the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards if you want, which is
I'm sorry,
exactly the same
Fangoria? Do you mean the 80s magazine?
It's still around, Nick. I don't know why you're judging
still
me.
around? That is
They're
legitimately shocking to me.
Yeah, they're definitely still around.
Okay, I was not aware of that. Okay. I love it. That actually warms my heart a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm really excited that Nick Cage did win the Best Actor award for Mandy. So
that is great.
I clearly win.
Patience wins.
That's actually strangely enough fine with me, of Nick Cage winning a Best Actor award, even though I can't definitively say if he's a good actor or not.
I mean, he has won an Oscar, too, so we know that he can actually win a legitimate acting award, too.
That's a good point. Justin in with the Oscar. Oscar knowledge, throwing it down.
I mean, I think he's a good actor. I think. Like,
that was a whole community episode.
Adaptation, Leaving Las Vegas, Moonstruck.
Put
Raising Arizona.
the bunny down. What? No Con Air? What?
Put the bunny down. Oh, I thought
that's a distant 35th on his list. So
see, I thought that was a weird remake of what was it? It was this weird take on Lenny from of Mice and Men. Like I thought, like did Nick Cage do a version of a Mice and Men for a second?
That seems all right, actually.
It's the rabbits, Lenny. What a oh yeah. Fucking rabbits.
That's the question. Would you see Nick Cage as being that character or Lenny or the other character? Because I'm like, I could see him being
Lenny.
both.
You know what? In a rare,
like a stage,
tour de force,
like a stage play almost.
Nicolas Cage in a one-man show of Mice and Men.
I could see it actually.
No.
And then the encore is Flowers for Algernon.
Oh God.
Wait, watching Nick Cage go through a rapid intelligence increase throughout the play? Yes, I would actually want to see that.
Come on, that is almost a story almost tailored for someone of Nicolas Cage's caliber.
Yeah.
See, that's funny because I actually just read Flowers for Algernon recently for a class I had to do, so I'm like, yep, I can totally see that now. It's like vividly playing in my head.
Wait, you had to read it for a PhD course?
Well, so what it is, I do a short film studies course because my advisor actually recommended me taking it. She's like, well, you like film. This is a special course that I'm taking. It's an online class. And we read like whole short film. Well, we watch whole short films and read giant short stories every week.
Oh, okay.
We read the original version of Flowers for Algernon, but then I also read the original book back in middle school.
Yeah, I was like, that's definitely a middle school book.
Yeah, but no, lately we've been reading a lot of like John Cheever and a lot of who else? Like who's the guy who did Raymond Carver stuff too. So
sure, it was always like a middle school like thing right after Catcher in the Rye, but before the Scarlet Letter.
You know what? I only read a little bit of Catcher in the Rye and decided I hate that book. So
yeah, no, that's a good.
It's
good
funny
reaction.
because as someone with a not attention deficit but an attention disorder or whatever, the most things that I reflect with of like that's in the first person narrative that I relate to the most is Catcher in the Rye and The Informant, that made Matt Damon movie, of just having random thoughts that are not connected to anything and just thinking about things in a random fluid motion.
Oh sure,
and guess
yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And guess what? That's a fucking awful way to tell a story.
Yeah.
Well, because I can see where that story works. I actually read some short stories that work that way. The problem is that Colton Hall feels a little turd the entire time. I'm just like, I have no sympathy or connection to this dude whatsoever in this book.
I don't even find my thoughts that interesting. If they weren't my thoughts, I wouldn't want to be thinking them. Anyway,
we've been holding on to this since freshman year.
Anyway, what we're talking about? Don't even get me started on Shakespeare, that fucking hack. Anyway, man, I did not realize that all that anger was still there.
I think it was there.
Middle school
not that buried.
I feel like you just purged yourself right now. You just like kind of like all this built up shit that you've had since middle school just came out and now you're good. You're clean.
Mr. Yoder! Probably shouldn't have used his real name.
Probably not.
But that's okay. Maybe I'll bleep it out if I have time.
Which means you won't.
You won't. We all know
no,
you
I'm
won't.
not gonna.
And she won't listen to this anyways. So
Let's be straight up. I'm not gonna do that. All right. So yeah, I actually made a recent discovery that I think Patience might also remember from a previous recording we did. Patience, do you remember the Oreo flavored Oreos or Oreo and cream flavored Oreos that I went on a rant about a month or so back?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And I believe my statements were along the lines that it was the fall of civilization in cookie form.
A little dramatic, but
I mean, maybe slightly.
Yes, extreme, but I stand by.
It's
I
the
stand by that
apocalypse,
statement.
Travis. It's the apocalypse.
okay, I'm sorry for.
If we accept this, what will we not accept from our cookie-related treats? It is a slippery slope that I will not go down.
Okay.
You should have gotten into
So-
politics. You would have been amazing.
So Oreo. So the manufacturers of Oreos have been on my shit list for a while, but
Did they send you an apology letter?
almost. They basically made something specifically for me. Guys, have you heard of mega stuffed Oreos?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I was only recently made aware of this, and guys, it is like having your faith in God reestablished.
Dude, they've
Like-
been around for like 10, 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
This is not
Well, I mean,
new
there's been
thing.
double stuffed Oreos, but I think maybe mega stuffed Oreos is kind of the
Okay,
evolution.
okay,
No,
that's fair.
Mega
That's
stuffed
fair.
Oreos are 2 double stuffed Oreos smushed together.
Yep.
It is amazing. And if they have been around for years, why has no one told me?
I almost
This-
picture Nick
'Cause
being
I live
like,
with you.
I almost picture Nick being like Cell from the DBZ Abridged. He has a realization. It's like, suddenly life has no meaning to me.
I was in the aisle and then I saw the quadruple stuffed Oreos and I was like, I want to know what love is.
I want you to
I want you to show me.
As he's stuffing Oreos.
It sounded a lot better in his head.
Dreamweaver.
And then he starts crying. Oh man. This happened. This really happened. I know it did.
I'll tell you what, I'll do anything for love. And I will do that.
I will do anything.
Man, we are
for
full of
love.
song references.
But I will do that.
Man, it's a lyrical episode today.
So Nick,
Very loose.
I have a friend going to Japan, and now my quest. She asked me what I
Get
wanted.
Kit Kats. Get all those fucking Kit
Well,
Kats.
Every flavor of
okay,
Kit Kat.
she was like, other than Kit Kats, what do you want? And now it's gonna be, I want all of the fucked up flavors of Oreos for my friend Nick.
Yes. Yes. Get all the Oreos and all the Kit Kats. And if you ask me what flavor, don't even ask me.
And it's,
All of them.
it's just
Except for
all-
Swedish Fish?
All of them. Even the Swedish Fish.
Ooh, wow.
I'll try Swedish Fish Kit Kats. I'll do them once.
No, I mean Oreos.
Swedish fish Oreos?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. They exist.
They're awful.
And guess what? They are as bad as they sound.
If not worse.
I mean, I like Swedish fish and I like Oreos, but Swedish fish Oreos, yeah. I'm
That
just like-
sounds
Okay,
fucking
one,
disgusting.
I'm going to forget that you like Swedish Fish, because I
make
still
no-
want to be your
this is
friend,
the
Justin.
unapologetic geek out. I make no apologies, so.
Oh, he's
No,
got you there.
There's an exception for food.
There's a limit.
There are lines we don't
Never.
cross.
No.
We don't cross Swedish Fish. We don't fuck with candy corn.
Or Nick
Also-
Cage.
Or circus peanuts. Circus peanuts are also the devil.
I have an aunt that loves circus peanuts.
She is wrong in every way. And not just in an opinion wrong, but as a person, wrong.
Will you fire me if I say that I kind of like circus peanuts?
What?
We're breaking Nick as a person
I
here.
did. Travis, can you describe how Nick looks right now?
He's very offended.
Okay.
His hackles are actually raising. He doesn't have any hair in the back of his neck, but they are raising.
Is he bright? Is he bright red?
I'm sorry,
quite yet.
do you like enjoy eating styrofoam? Like,
They're
because it is cornstarch flavored styrofoam.
I mean, I agree with you about candy corn, but circus peanuts are not that bad.
Okay, we're gonna have to get off this conversation because I didn't realize how angry I get via these sugary tweets.
Really?
My sugar tongue is getting me in trouble here.
I like how we went from talking about his your love affair with the new Oreos to, oh no, not peanuts. They're just full of hate.
Well, they're not technically peanuts. They're just they're like marshmallow flavored.
No. Marshmallows are delicious treats. Marshmallows are happiness clouds that were made by the gods because we did something right. Circus peanuts are like the hand job of marshmallows. Like they're close enough, but you know what I really want.
Is that sweet,
Wow.
sweet?
It makes sense. Don't look at me like that. Don't
Trust me.
look at me like
I'm
that.
trying to avoid looking at you at all possible because I just can't.
Travis.
You know I speak truth. Does what I say not ring of truth?
No.
It's not that you're wrong. It's just that maybe you shouldn't say it.
I stand by that statement.
That's the problem.
Travis.
Can you make s'mores with circus peanuts? No.
Probably.
No human being
Probably
would
not.
do that. They have dignity.
You don't.
What were we talking about?
I have no idea.
Oreos.
We were asking
We've
Patience how
all
she
we've
was
been talking
doing.
about.
Yeah.
I don't remember what we were on.
Japan.
I don't remember. This has gone on too far.
Travis,
Friendships are being strained right now.
Is Nick having a stroke? Is he okay?
Nah, he looks fine.
Okay, good. We're good. Moving on.
I'm just sitting here rocking in the corner. Have some now, save some for later. Just
He's fine.
break me off
No
a piece
circus.
of that
No circus,
Kit Kat bar.
No
Yeah, I made a real shocking discovery like the other week too, is that I can't eat Cadbury eggs anymore.
Really?
Oh.
No.
They hurt so bad. Yet they're so good.
I broke a
But they hurt
tooth
so
on
bad.
one of those once. I broke a fucking tooth. I had to go and get a new
Ouch.
tooth. Fuck Cadbury eggs.
God, it's so good, yet they hurt bad. You hurt me so good, Cadbury eggs.
And it's
Also, Peeps. I will eat Peeps. I'm not proud of it,
Okay,
but
good.
Peeps can get
all
into
right.
my body.
Peeps are
You're
good.
sitting there talking about the purity of marshmallows versus circus peanuts, and you're going to sit there and preach to me about how Peeps are okay?
No, Peeps are not okay. Peeps are the dirty shit you get on the side. Like, Peeps are the stuff you don't talk about. Like, when you're dating a girl and you want to show it off, that's your marshmallow. When you're dating a girl that's lower than what you want your friends to like actually see you being, that's a Peep. Okay, you don't ever admit it.
I just imagine someone now just like, man, you don't bring your side peeps here to the house. You know?
No, you keep your side Peeps off to the side where they belong.
So does that mean that circus peanuts is like the dirty crack whore that you use when you're desperate for the hand job?
Circus peanuts are the
Back out
lowest
again,
of the sexual metaphors for, like, they are, no, I mean, they're above candy corn, but barely. Like,
Ugh, that's saying
So they're a
something.
paid whore.
'cause
Candy corn's the free whore, and circus peeps or circus peanuts are the paid whore.
candy corn is the glory hole in the men's bathroom of a truck stop of candy.
Can we just, like, leave this whole conversation?
Yeah, this is going some weird places.
No, I'm kind of into it, but yeah, I love hearing Nick go on a Nick rant. It's awesome.
We better move on because I'm pretty sure the metaphor is about to break down.
Okay.
But
I think so.
I still feel like I don't know what we got accomplished there, but I do feel like it was something.
No.
So-
Definitely not
Moral
important.
of the
No,
story
it was
is,
nothing.
yes, Nick wants you to get all the Oreo flavors.
Yes, all of them, and I will eat all of them. Like
In, like, 2 sittings.
especially at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Since Justin didn't watch the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, what did you think about the Oscars?
Yes,
Yes, I got a lot to say
Justin.
about
We don't have a lot of time since we went on such a candy rant.
We're on
for
a
this
20-minute rant
for
here.
this just in with Justin. But if you'd like to do this just in with Justin, Oscar edition.
Yes,
So-
indeedy.
Justin, I did not watch the Oscars. I know what won Best Picture, and that's it.
That's more than I know, actually.
So, spoil it away for me. What did you think of this year's Oscars, and what were the highlights? How many times did they it was without a host? So how many times did they get the Best Picture wrong this time?
You know what? Here's the funny thing. Everyone was worried, like, oh, this is going to be a disaster because there was no host. This was actually one of their best ceremonies they've had in years without a host.
Really?
Yeah, because that's the thing
Cool.
is that the thing we realize is like, oh yeah, something that's been dragging the ceremonies down is the dumb, stupid skits the hosts create all the time. And when you cut those out, it actually works a lot more organically. Because then it's not just about the actor the whole time. It's like, yeah, we just want to watch the awards. We want to watch who wins, who makes the big speeches, and then we move on to the next person. And honestly, it's weird because it didn't make it that much shorter. It was still about 3 hours long, and yet it didn't feel like it dragged like in other years.
You're saying it moved at a better clip without a somewhat conscious James Franco handing out the awards.
Yeah, I think that definitely helped a lot to not have freaking a host stoned out of his mind giving out awards. So, yeah. But no, that's the thing is that it actually worked a lot better than anyone expected, to the point where everyone seems to be unanimously like, yeah, we don't need hosts anymore. Just the presenters. And so let's see. In the general ceremony itself, there was a lot of, obviously there's always highs and lows in terms of the presenters themselves. Probably one of the weirdest high moments that we had. So they presented the award for Best Costume Design, which, Black Panther won that along with Best Production Design.
Mm-hmm.
And for costume design, they brought out two presenters. They had Brian Tyree Henry, of course, in like elaborate Black Panther costume, wardrobe stuff, with like the face paint and the purple outfits. And then they had Melissa McCarthy come out in this crazy version of the costume from The Favorite, for the Queen.
Okay.
Where she had like bunnies sewn onto it, like on a long trail leading out to the back. And then she wore this bunny hand puppet that was performing with her the entire time she was talking. It's like, the purpose of the costume design is to make sure nobody is distracted by any one piece of article on the clothing. You see the bunny just like acting out on her hand the entire time, trying to get the audience's attention. I don't know why. It's so silly, but it's like, this is kind of funny.
Well, there was a rumor that they were going to use the Muppets to host for a little bit, so maybe that's where it came from.
No Muppets showed up, sadly, which I was
Damn
bummed about. I know. I'm like, wow. I mean, they did have some Avengers show up every now and then, because Samuel Jackson and Brie Larson presented together at one point, and then also Chris Evans.
Can we at least get Statler and Waldorf in the balcony talking shit about the hosts?
That would have been great. That would or the no host, just like.
No, they would have been the host. They're just the host, but they're just a lot less screen time.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. That would be great. No, but yeah. So the ceremony itself was pretty good. I mean, there was a fair share of good, funny moments. I think the most awkward moment was the very beginning, where they had Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and Maya Rudolph trying to do their "we're not hosting, but we're going to pretend we're hosting for a bit" moment. And it was like, oh yeah, you guys have more or less proven the point that we shouldn't have a host at any point in the show. It was just, it's just their usual shtick of like, hey, we're going to make female jokes. We're going to make political jokes. We're going to do this stuff. We're going to scream really loudly. We're going to sing part of the song that got nominated this year. And it's like, so, but yeah, other than that, I think the most memorable awkward moments though were some of the actual acceptance speeches, because, oh my goodness, there were some doozies this year. I think the single worst one was for Vice, which won Best Makeup this year.
Mm-hmm.
And the three people who won, I guess either they were drunk or they didn't rehearse their speech together, because they were like, one, awkwardly like huddled up to each other, touching each other, trying to look at this piece of paper they wrote together. And they're like, thank you to my father and friend. And they kept going and going and going. And at one point they played the music. They still kept going. At one point they had to pan the camera out to the wide view to show that they were going to commercial break. They kept going. And at some point they started turning the lights on and off, and they kept going. And then they cut the microphones just to finish them off. So.
Wow.
See, I love that. There's always one or two every year where someone's nominated, but they don't think they're going to win. So they end up just getting kind of wasted. Like, yeah, I'm here for a party, so let me just drink up and get fucked up. And then they win, and they go, oh shit!
I gotta do something now.
And then you have to watch them try and sober up real quick.
Yeah, well, I think part of it too was that there was the whole debacle where they reversed the decision to cut out makeup, cinematography, editing, and live action shorts from the ceremony. Which I'm glad they did, because you actually get to see, people get their acceptance speeches. But I think that was a case where those people were like, oh, we're going to talk as long as we want to. And the Academy just showed us like, oh, no, you're not. Yeah. So there was that. Probably the classiest person to give speeches was Alfonso Cuarón, because Roma won Best Director, Best Cinematography, and Best Foreign Language Film. And he was the only person to accept each of those awards, because he did all three.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But that's the thing. He came up 3 times, and each time he was professional, he was classy, he was eloquent, and he had a totally different speech for each award that he won. Which I was like, wow. This dude, I always liked Cuarón as a filmmaker and that stuff, but as a person now, I'm like, this dude is, he is the most interesting man in the world. Like literally. Like every time he went up.
Nothing like a guy that works his prep. 3 different distinct speeches. Good on you, buddy.
Oh yeah. I mean, and he was very gracious. He was very respectful, and it was so funny because, Guillermo del Toro got to present the award for Best Director to him. And of course, they're like, him, Cuarón and Iñárritu are like the 3 amigos, as they call them, the best friends who are the great directors. So when they went up, they give each other just like the biggest bro hug, they're just like, yeah, you won. That's awesome. But the best moment for that, which, I'm not crazy about Spike Lee as a person in general. I think he's kind of an irritable dude. But the moment when Samuel Jackson announced that he won, first of all, Samuel Jackson, he opened the envelope, he was like, Oh, yeah, my boy!
Oh, shit, Spike!
Oh, that's more or less what he said. And then Spike ran up to the stage and jumped, tackled, hugged Samuel Jackson, which was awesome.
Well, I mean, he's been nominated a couple times before and got skunked almost every time, right?
Yeah, so he got nominated for writing Do the Right Thing. I think he had like 2 other scripts that he got nominated for. And then, yeah, this is like his big year where he got a bunch of recognition.
That's right, because Do the Right Thing got beat up by...
Driving Miss Daisy.
Yes.
And then, the spoiler, obviously, that Green Book won for Best Picture, Original Screenplay, and Supporting Actor. Which
did see that on the thing of like, of course, Driving Miss Daisy 2 wins Best Picture.
Well, and that's the funny thing where someone put up a meme. My fiance found this meme from a Twin Peaks post where they had the Laura Palmer and Agent Cooper, conversations like, I'll see you again in 25 years. But instead they had Driving Miss Daisy, Spike Lee, and then Green Book as the alternating image.
Wow. That's good.
Oh, it was great. But no, and also it's funny because they cut off Spike Lee's mic at one point because he said, don't you turn on that mother effing clock on me at the beginning of the speech.
Don't you... This is my time to shine, god damn it.
Oh, and he would not, they did not play the music, they did not cut him off, they let him speak. It's like, okay, so I see the priorities are like, oh, well, if it's a big name actor or director, we'll let them have a platform, but if it's the makeup and technical people, get off the stage.
Yeah, fuck them.
Yeah. That's a little bit of what I don't like about the Oscars sometimes, where they clearly show know your place moments throughout the ceremony, and I'm just like, okay, but that's kind of the point, is to make sure these, tech people get a spotlight, because most of them go uncredited or go without reward, So, I don't know. Again, I understand the Oscars are not the end all be all for great awards and for great movies, but to show someone get recognition for a craft that they do in a place where they probably never get that much attention, it's kind of nice, It's like, oh, hey, it's good to see Roger Deakins win his Oscar, or it's good to see, freaking Ludwig Göransson, who won for the score for Black Panther because he wrote the music for it. He was incredibly gracious, very nice dude. It was nice to see him get his recognition, But also, the only thing that probably made people more pissed that Green Book won Best Picture was the fact that the biggest winner of the night was Bohemian Rhapsody with 4 Oscar wins.
Really?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, because they won Best Actor, they won Sound Mixing, Sound Editing, and Film Editing, which everyone's like, but the film editing was the worst part of Bohemian Rhapsody.
Again, I have neither seen Green Book or Bohemian Rhapsody, but...
I actually just started watching Bohemian Rhapsody because my fiance saw it, and she said, she liked it, but she's like, yeah, I can see all the complaints that people say about it. I just found it's still enjoyable. So I started watching it, and I got about 50 minutes in before my computer battery died, so I had to, put it on pause for a second. But... The funny thing was, I'm like, okay, the editing is okay until you get to a sequence where they have 10 people in a room talking to each other, and then they feel a need to show every single person's reaction shot to everything said. So while one person is talking, usually Mike, for example, there's the big scene where they talk to Mike Myers' producer in the scene. Which, Mike Myers has a cameo in this as a producer because they had an inside gag with him being the Bohemian Rhapsody guy, from Wayne's World.
Right.
But while he's talking, they're constantly editing to every single person's reaction to anything he's saying. And so it's just cut. And you're just like, I'm getting whiplash and I'm getting dizzy now. Just focus on 2 people in a shot at a time. Come on.
Yeah, that's, well, that's interesting. I'll have to definitely check that out. But I'm glad you had fun. Was this it was better than you expected, or was this about the level you thought?
No, it was way better than I expected. Trust me, when I say that I thought it was going to be a disaster, there's an infamous Oscar ceremony that happened in 1988 or 89 when they had no host the first time.
That's the Rob Lowe one, isn't it?
The Rob Lowe one with the Snow White singer at the beginning. Yeah.
Oh my god. Patience, Travis, have you seen this?
I don't think so,
no, I haven't.
Okay, so if you guys listening, listen to this. Look up, what year was it, Justin?
I can't remember. It's either 88 or 89, one of those years.
Yeah, just look up Rob Lowe, Oscar musical. It should be one of the first things that pops up. I think he sings a song with the woman that does the voice for Snow White.
Okay.
No, it wasn't the original voice. It was just some actress trying to do a Snow White impression.
Oh, she was doing a Snow White impression? Okay. Oh, that's even dumber. And oh boy, the only way I can really describe it is that imagine if a war crime was a musical. And it is so terrible. And it's So long. I want to say it's 10 minutes long.
No, I just looked up the video. So look up the 11 minutes that ruined Hollywood producer Alan Carr's career forever. That's the name of the title of the video. Because that's the thing is that these poor people, because they it was March 29th, 1989. So that's the 1988 Academy Awards technically. So they got this poor actress who was just, this was literally like one of her first acting gigs she ever did. And it's like, oh yeah, we want to make a big tribute to a legend of Hollywood glory, Snow White. And so they brought her in, full costume of Snow White, to sing a variety of musical numbers with Rob Lowe, who was trying to recover after a bunch of scandals that were going on in his career. Mm-hmm. So, one, it proved Rob Lowe cannot sing. First of all.
Oh, nope.
The whole time he's like trying to hold tune like.
Oh man, he cannot hold a tune to save his goddamn life.
No, but then Snow White, the poor actress playing Snow White, is doing this screechy singing voice. It's like, the whole time. And it is a train wreck.
Terrible.
Those 11 minutes might be the most punishing 11 minutes you might ever experience.
Is this when Rob Lowe was recovering from this sex tape?
I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been right around that time, I think, yeah.
You remember when sex tapes used to ruin a career, not boost them?
Well, I like to figure that, hey, no one remembers that sex tape as much as this performance anymore.
That's a good point.
So technically it worked.
So I guess it kind of worked? Also, I do feel bad for that producer because he literally could not find a job after that.
Oh, no,
but then again,
I said, it ruined his career and the career of that actress. They never got work after that, so.
Then again, if you watch it, you go, yeah, I wouldn't hire that guy either.
Well, because it's funny because, I get why he thought, it doesn't excuse it, why he thought that, because he's the producer who made Grease back in the day. So he's like, oh yeah, big musical spectacle numbers, I can do this kind of stuff. And, nope. So, thankfully.
11 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, if it was 5 minutes even, you could kind of let it go. But just, so terrible.
It was awful. So yeah, no, you definitely need to play like a sample of that somewhere in this podcast, guys, just to give a sample of what
that
people...
would be amazing.
I'll give you guys a sample right here on what we're talking about, because you really, like, as much as you're imagining it right now, it's so much worse than that. I'll play like 30 seconds and just think of that for 11. Okay, here it is right now.
Used to work a lot for Walt Disney, starring in cartoons every night and day.
But you said goodbye to Grumpy and Sleepy, left the dwarves behind, came to town to stay.
Lights keep on burning, cameras keep on turning.
Okay, there. That for another 10 and a half minutes.
Oh my god. Like, I was just that 30 seconds alone, and I was thinking about stabbing myself in the face.
It makes you think that, well, maybe this whole music thing isn't for me. Maybe I just won't listen to music anymore because it is kind of done.
Yikes.
I feel like there is a part of my soul missing after that, and I don't think I can get it back.
Yeah, so the point being, though, that thankfully nothing on that scale or magnitude even close to came to happening at this Oscar ceremony. So, and I get it, everyone's pissed off that Green Book won Best Picture. Okay, yeah. I make no apologies. I unironically liked Green Book. I thought it was a really good movie. I understand. It's simple. It's a simple story about two dudes who go on a road trip and become friends to overcome their, Viggo Mortensen's racism specifically, And it's like, I've had a lot of people complain to me about this stuff. We're just like, oh, well, clearly it's not, it's a demeaning look at black people because of the way that it just implies that we can cure racism just by a car ride and blah, blah, blah kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's what the movie is trying to do. It's just trying to tell a human personal story of these two people. It's not trying to say racism is over, because clearly it's not. It's, yeah, I don't, it is Driving Miss Daisy, but on the other hand, I think it's a better Driving Miss Daisy. Like, I think it's a lot better. It's a lot more snappy. It's a lot better made. It's got better actors. That's hard to say, because Morgan Freeman and Jessica Tandy were great in just Driving Miss Daisy. But I think that this one is less insulting, because, it's a white man driving a black man around. And the black man, because here's the thing, Mahershala Ali, one, he deserved his Oscar. He was fantastic in that movie. Mm-hmm. And two, the only major thing they criticize of him as a character in the story is that, he he's stuck in that position where he has to play to the white cultures. Which he points out the fact it's like, yeah, so when I play to all these white people, they feel good about themselves because like, oh, we listened to the black man play. That's amazing. And then the instant he stops playing, he's just another black person to them, And it's that weird thing where he's like at a disconnect with the black community because he has to relate to the white culture more. But then he's like, well, then if I'm not white enough for them and I'm not black enough for my people and then I'm not man enough for anybody else, what am I? Kind of thing. So, which is not entirely accurate to Don Shirley because this is mostly based on a true story that happened to these two characters, Tony Vallelongo and Don Shirley, the famous piano player. But that's the thing is like, look, most biopics have to make up stuff all the time. I mean, freaking people lost their minds over Bohemian Rhapsody and the stuff they made up in that movie, Yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know. I feel that people, like, I wouldn't have picked Green Book for my favorite Best Picture, because, yeah, there were some better movies that were nominated. But, I would say that just out of the fact I'm like, I enjoyed it. It was a crowd pleaser movie. It was made to be a crowd pleaser movie. And it's not, it's not Blind Spotting. It's not Black Klansman. It's not trying to tackle the most complex, nuanced subject matter. It's just a fun to watch movie.
All right. Well, that was our Oscar talk with Justin.
Yeah, sorry, I can go on to that for a while. That's all I gotta say.
See you guys next year for, but now we'll talk about with patience for something we were discuss that we'll leave Justin out with, just to be fair. Because patience, we watched Six String Samurai.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Can I just mention that I'm still pissed off at Les about this? Like,
you should be.
And it's been like a week or two.
It's been long.
I'm salty. I'm salty.
Well, hey, if it's any consolation, I've been punishing Les with a TV show that he's been forced to watch with me, so...
Okay. All right, good. I mean, he needs to watch something excruciatingly bad.
Well, it's not that bad.
Have you met Les? There's nothing he couldn't watch. Like, that dude watches everything.
Yeah. As proven by the fact that we've watched this movie now.
It was weird the other week when I was like, I just assumed like, hey, do you want to do this TV show for Netflix and Kill? And he's like, oh, I haven't gotten a chance to watch that yet. And I was like, really? Like, it was... Normally he's just got everything watched by the time I even ask. But yeah, we watched Six String Samurai, which is...
awful. It is like the worst thing.
I mean... So, like, when we watched, what was it, The Story of Ricky, he introduced us to, which I thought was a real fun movie.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
And then we watched Wild Zero, which, like, is a movie no one has watched. And yet, I found it also somewhat entertaining.
Yeah, it was like, bad, but in an entertaining way.
So, Six String Samurai is about this buddy, this guy who dresses up like Buddy Holly in the somewhat post-apocalypse after Russia has won the Cold War, and in like an alternate future, and he grabs the kid to take along with him to New Vegas, where the previous king of Vegas, Elvis Presley, has died, and now they need a new king, and his journey is to become the new king of Vegas. And how I know this is the
scroll,
the harbinger of death for any bad movie is if you see title crawl come up and it's not a Star Wars movie, you are fucked.
Or the fact that Harbinger of Death was a character in this movie.
Or Slash. The Harbinger of Death is a Slash cosplayer in this movie.
Yeah.
So
also, let's not forget this.
So
the kid communicates almost exclusively in monosyllabic wails and grunts
for half the movie until he learns to speak fine.
He is like a mentally deficient Chewbacca,
who is also a genius when it comes to mechanical, I guess, things, because he fixes cars and bikes and scooters and
right.
It's so bad. And then there's a fight club with another kid who has an arrow in his back.
It's one of those movies where it makes me look back at the gangs in stuff like The Warriors, and I go, they're actually pretty, in comparison to this, they're actually pretty consistent and inherent to one theme and more realistic. Because at least The Warriors, like, they at least pick a theme and stick with it. Okay, we're the baseball gang.
If they have a gang of mimes, they're going to have a gang of mimes. No one's going to stand out from that.
But this one has so we have the bowling gang.
Yeah.
Okay, so one, we have the Red Elvises, which are Russian Elvis musicians.
Yeah.
That have red hair and are communists, I guess.
Huh?
Which also are immediately taken out in the movie. Apparently, also, they're a real band.
The whole entire
They were the ones
soundtrack.
that made all the music for the
They're
film.
the ones that made the music for the movie, the Red Elvises. And then we get introduced to what Patience was just describing, which is the bowling.
Yeah.
But not only are they bowlers, but they're also musicians, and then they take out their bowling balls, which are also on chains and kind of maces, and also they all flip coins for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, they're all Two-Face villains of, coin henchmen.
Did they spin the wheel on, villains? Okay, what kind of customizable
It's like
quirks
everyone fell into the costuming department and jumped out the other side.
Look, guys, we don't have time to dress you, just do whatever.
And whatever most stuck with them is what they went with.
And then we have the astronaut wind farmers.
Oh, this was one of my favorite, because we recorded the commentary, this is one of my favorite moments, is where I heard Patience break. It was during when they were talking about the windmill people. The windmill people came, and they came to the house to attack the kid, and we suddenly see people in astronaut garb mixed with duct tape.
Yeah.
And then Patience, literally, she goes to me, I fucking hate Les. Just that during the scene was just she was trying her goddamn hardest. And then suddenly she's like, nah, fuck it. I hate this fucking thing.
We can also tell where we all collectively break in this movie while watching it.
Oh, sure. There's a moment where we all basically go insane. There's a whole moment where the kid is dragging our hero, only to leave him there and then to go backwards a couple feet to drag his sword and guitar the next couple feet, only then to drag the hero another couple feet and to leapfrog his way. And for whatever reason, I started laughing, and then Travis started laughing, and then Patience started laughing.
And we couldn't stop.
We could not stop laughing at this scene. Not because it was funny, but just because we couldn't believe it was happening.
There's nothing else we could do at this point.
I was okay, I either have to laugh right now, or I'm gonna break down and cry.
It was that bad. It really was. I'm still I think I have PTSD, guys.
I have to go back and start laughing at that scene again, just to get myself through some of these moments and remembering that this exists.
And then, we're going to spoil the movie here quick. Sorry for anyone who wants to watch Six Finger Samurai.
You don't.
But at a certain point, I even for this movie, I flipped my fucking lid, which was, so the main guy, Death, is fighting Buddy Holly, and then the kid comes up and spits on him, and it burns his hand.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, you motherfuckers, if Death's weakness is fucking water, I swear to God, and then, sure enough, he gets a canteen and water and kills Death with water like he's an M. Night Shyamalan antagonist.
Well, no, because apparently it was more of a Wicked Witch of the West deal, because apparently there was a Wizard of Oz metaphor that didn't happen until the very end, where they get to New Vegas, which is the fucking Emerald City.
Well, that's a horse of a different color. Like this.
It's like, what?
Oh no! Death's weakness is a small amount of water. Fuck this movie.
That feels like that episode of Johnny Bravo where they torture the guy by sprinkling water in his face. Like, no, not the little drops of water. It's gonna think.
Seriously, he had maybe a cap full of water that he killed slash death.
slash death.
That needs to be on paper. Sorry.
That's my favorite anime series. Slash
It's
death.
a joke that works better written down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, that didn't come across audio wise, but on paper
I like his
amazing.
new name. Slash death.
Slash death. I mean, okay, so it comes down to, and this was the biggest part of the whole entire movie, is we have Buddy Holly fighting Death, so it's rock and roll versus heavy metal. That was the culmination of this stupid fucking movie.
Except there wasn't even a real big metaphor of that being the whole meta narrative of like new age versus old age rock and roll, and
like the rest of the like groups didn't have enough of a like appearance to them that we would guess like, oh yeah, they're absolutely the jazz group and he killed them.
Okay, yeah, so new metal is coming in to fight the old ways of rock and roll. I get that. I get where you're going with the metaphor.
Yeah.
Why do we fight a bunch of Russians at the end of the second act? Like, why are they just all of a sudden there?
Yeah, and they had the water at least. And they didn't have any ammunition, but they had plenty of landmines.
And gumballs.
And gumballs.
Yeah, remember like in the middle of the movie they started throwing candy at them?
Right!
That was a whole thing?
That was a whole thing where the post-apocalyptic people were throwing candy at them.
Yeah, jawbreakers.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. It was really fucking weird. And I just want to reiterate, I really hate you, Les.
Yeah.
This sounds like a fever dream.
It might as well have been.
It's like we all shared an hallucination. Like, if you were to tell me that movie doesn't actually exist, and that I can't find it anymore, and like whatever we watched was just a premonition.
And like there's no actual recording.
I would actually believe you. Like,
the recording doesn't have any sound.
No, Nick, that movie doesn't exist.
I've never heard of it before in my life. Although it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. We're watching this shit. I'm pretty sure I was drunk.
We were way too sober for that fucking movie.
No, you guys were.
That is not a movie to be seen in the light of day. You need to watch that movie at midnight, hammered.
Yeah.
If any way you watch that movie.
And then you might still not enjoy it.
Nope.
Me and Travis watched some other stuff this week, though.
We watched Kingdom.
Kingdom was super good. The Korean zombie show on Netflix.
Yes. It's a period piece zombie film in like Korea.
Dude, that movie series was awesome.
Was pretty good.
I thought the production design on it was great.
Yeah, it started off a little like really slow because they got to set up all the politics. Because it's got kind of a Game of Thrones type of feel to it. Mm-hmm. But then it gets like, by the end of the first episode, they're like, okay, now we're getting zombie killing going on. It just kind of snowballs from there, and it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely real good. I definitely recommend it. It's only 6 episodes, too, so it's not like it's super long.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh. I was like, I'm pretty sure this is the final episode. It's like, no, it can't be the...
Yeah, they leave you in a cliffhanger,
It can't be the final episode. There must be more. Like
they really dick tease you at the end of, like, it looks like it's going to be Helm's Deep with zombies, and you're like, yeah, next season. Fuck! You sons of bitches!
I hate when they do that, where they're like, well, we don't have the budget to actually show you the cool battle yet. Hint, hint.
Mm-hmm. It's very much that first season of Game of Thrones where they don't ever show you an actual battle.
I thought there are some pretty cool stuff in this one.
Yeah.
And it does have the actress who plays Soon Bak from Sense8, Doona Bae.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, her,
Okay.
She's one of the main characters.
It was at a moment where I was wondering when she's going to break out her Sense8 abilities.
She kicks some ass in it.
And then she does hit a guy with a shovel almost immediately after I thought that.
Also, does what's his name that we've seen in like every Korean movie show up in here? The big muscular chubby dude.
Oh no! I would have at least not yet. I mean, I would have recognized him. He's from what's that movie? Damn it! We actually all reviewed it together. Yes,
Train to Busan.
The heavy from Train to Busan.
Yeah,
man, I wish I could remember that guy's name.
That movie that we reviewed, Nick, the Along with the Gods.
Yes, I love that actor. I don't know what is it about him, but he's got a great charisma, and I love that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and Travis also watched Ginger Snaps for the first time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Patience's reaction.
I'm so insulted by Travis right now. Seriously, Travis, I'm looking at you.
No.
Because he was like, Patience would love this movie. I fucking hate Ginger
You didn't hear
Snaps.
the inflection I said it. I was trying to like, I guess I can see why Patience liked this movie. Sure. I was trying to be nice to what I thought, because Nick told me it was like one of your favorite movies. I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, it's a great movie. And I was like, no, apparently that wasn't hers. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Lies.
Well,
the way I heard it was like, yeah, I bet you this is a Patience movie.
No, I didn't say it like that.
God.
That's the way I heard it. I don't know.
First of all, I'm notorious. I hate werewolf movies. That's I hate werewolf movies.
That's because there aren't
there's not very many good
there aren't
ones.
any.
And
Except for Dog Soldiers.
No.
Dog Soldiers is worth kick-ass.
And I will make an exception for Dog Soldiers because Dog Soldiers is amazing. But also, I
I'll give you the shits.
Emo werewolves. Come on. Fuck off. Sorry. That's the end of my patience rant. So, I'm sorry you guys watched Ginger Snaps.
Oh, you know what? Actually, just on that note, something I thought I saw recently too, for the very first time, I saw What We Do in the Shadows for the first time.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, that movie is so fucking good.
We're
werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yes, those werewolves were great, even though they were clearly super low budget when they finally transformed. But I'm like, you know what? I kind of accepted that this is the look of the movie, so no, that's fine. But man, that movie is funny.
It's so amazing.
Oh yeah. No, I love, oh gosh, I think there's so many great things about the movie, but the one guy who I just fell in love with was freaking Stu, the software engineer.
Everyone loves Stu.
Everyone loves Stu. Yeah. That's the whole point of Stu, is that everyone loves this guy.
I know, and I'm just I loved it too, because I looked up later, it's like, oh no, he's not an actor, he's an actual software engineer named Stu that they hired for the movie.
Yep.
Just
I love that. That's great. I did not know that.
Yeah, that's their IT guy that they hired and just put on camera and was like, and then they're like, oh, that's Stu.
That makes sense because he doesn't have to do much. He just sits there.
Yeah, and yet everyone loves him. So
by the end of the movie, I love Stu just because everyone else loves him.
Who doesn't love Stu? My favorite
Monsters
part
do. That's
is
who doesn't
when
love
they
Stu.
do the whole Lost Boys thing where he's like, do you like your biscotti?
You realize you're eating worms?
You're eating worms. Your biscotti.
The part that made my friend laugh the most was when Taika Waititi's character feasts on that girl for the first time. Where he's like sending down the newspapers and he bites
because he's always like makes such a huge mess.
That just caught him so off guard. With just like he bites into her artery and just starts spraying blood all over the room. It's just like, oh god.
And he's trying to drink it like he's a water fountain or something. Like he's trying to put the mouth around.
Oh, it was great.
Man, I watched.
Oh, sorry, but it made me really excited to see the TV show because that's starting next month too.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I'm super excited as well.
So excited that we're getting the television show. That movie, like, I told my husband, I was like, you have to watch this movie, He's like, okay. He watched it like 3 times in a row.
Well, I'm amazed too, the fact that apparently from the others trivia I read, they filmed like 120 hours and they just edited it down to the 90 minutes that worked the best.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, because almost all of it's improvised, except for like the few like effect-heavy sequences. Like almost every scene is an improvised scene.
Wow,
that's great. I love Taika Waititi.
Oh yeah, I'm amazed at just the skill this dude had. And apparently for the TV show, he's super involved in that too, because he's like, yeah, if it's going to be the U.S. remake, it's not just going to be the U.S. remake. We're going to make it its own thing as much as possible. So.
And we're getting a werewolf movie too, right?
Yeah, so apparently there's the Werewolves.
Werewolves, right?
Yeah, and then there's also reportedly a series or a movie based on those 2 moron cops that keep coming up every now and then. I love those guys. They're
you
just
see,
like
you see what's going on right here, right? You don't have a smoke detector.
Oh, and I love it when they find the werewolf attack at the end. They're just like, yeah, it's weird. These attacks have been happening pretty regularly, like once a month almost. It's like,
Well, unfortunately, guys, that's going to be it for me. I have to go.
That's right. Travis has to get to work.
Bye, Travis.
I could have said longer because we had a whole rant on Oreos. So
I kind of have to leave too. Honestly, I have to get to class. So
I'll tell you what. Do you have time for one round of Stranger Than Fanfiction?
I do not.
Damn it. Okay.
I have 0 time, actually.
All right. We'll see you later then, Travis.
Bye, Travis.
And, all right. We'll wrap it up here then, as Travis can, makes his exit. Is that everything everyone was up to this week before we want to just go into a final round of Stranger Than Fanfiction?
If you can make it quick, then yes. Yeah,
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So, Justin, how this works, if we can play with Patience, we'll have her pick the first one, or probably our only one. How it works is we pick a genre or a TV show or movie, and then we try and guess what's the top pairing on Archive of Our Own via the pairings of it. So
not even the fanfiction.net, but the other fanfiction.net.
The other one, yes.
Oh boy.
So that way, like, we've done Harry Potter before, and I think who won that one was Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter /fic. So, like, that's
chances are usually the gay pairings are going to be the top ones, just from my experience looking at fan fictions.
it seems to be pretty safe to go gay. That's what I'm learning as well. So, without further ado, Patience, would you like to try? What's our category? We'll let you pick today.
Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna break all your childhoods right now. Toy Story.
Oh no!
Whoa!
Yeah,
man, that's some interesting stuff.
I
don't know.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. Clearly, the winner is gonna be Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head because his detractable penis can do a lot of different things.
Wow, I instantly regret making this entire game.
No, you don't. Don't lie.
If that was your intent, yes, I don't want to play this anymore. I don't know, Justin. What do you think? Do you have a guess?
I am traumatized thinking about this game right now. But
Justin regrets everything right now.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna go safe with saying that Woody and Buzz would probably be the most popular pairing because
that was my pick too.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's pretty obvious, I think, that Woody, because he goes to infinity and beyond, if you know what I'm saying.
If you catch my drift, you got a friend in me, if you know what I mean.
Buzz is gonna poison the water hole, if you know what I mean.
I like what you
There's a snake in my boot, if you catch my drift. Yeah, we're gonna keep on going with this until it's way too late, anyway.
Yep.
We're horrible.
Yep.
Just horrible people. Okay, I guess I'll try, since Justin picked Buzz and Woody, I guess I'll try and go with straight pairing with, Woody and Bo Peep, I guess?
Yeah.
No, wait, no. Buzz and Jesse from
Yeah,
from
actually, I think that one would be more popular, because that one's at least confirmed in the series, so.
I'll try the canon one. Maybe that'll help me out.
Well, okay, technically Bo and Woody is canon too, but at least you see more of Jesse and Buzz.
That's like more of a thing, I think, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They
All
do
right,
it missionary.
No, clearly,
wow.
they clearly do it cowgirl. Come on.
Oh, reverse
Nice.
cowgirl. Woo! Yeah.
Justin with the dirty joke. Love it.
I know a few things. I'm just saying. I'm getting ready to get married soon. I should know a few things. So.
He's ready to get some Bo Peeping done himself.
There's going to be some yodeling going on, if you know what I
mean. Yeah, if you know what I mean. We know what you mean, Justin. We do.
This is the worst round of Whose Lines It Anyways.
Actually, this is my favorite round now.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that this is the worst game of Whose Lines It Anyways I've ever played.
Man, guys, I cannot find a category for Toy Story. I'm sorry to say.
What?
No, it'd be under movies if you look. Oh, is it not? Oh no, sorry, it's archive of our own.
Yeah, maybe. Here, I'll try We'll try the rare exception. We'll try fanfiction.net just because I like this pairing so much. I like this category. But
how is it that there isn't like Toy Story porn?
Well,
I'm pretty sure there is.
They're probably pretty careful.
I'm too scared to do the Google image search right now, but I'm pretty sure there's Toy Story porn.
I'm pretty sure there is.
I'll do it. I'll take one for this game.
There's definitely at least sex Toy Story.
Sex Toy Story.
That's definitely a thing. That's gotta be a thing.
Woody is a dildo on that one, so.
Oh, Woody, no.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. You get real
bad splinters.
And then
Buzz did you say that you didn't find it on AO3?
Where did Travis come from?
I'm here.
He heard Woody, and he got excited.
Yeah, I found the AO3 one for Toy Story.
Oh, go for it then.
Yeah, the top one is Jesse and Buzz.
Yes!
Yay!
I win!
Right? Wow.
No, I can almost guarantee none of you guessed the second pairing.
Let's see it.
0 of you did. It's not possible.
What?
Is it Mr. and Mrs.
Andy and Sid.
What?
Yeah, 74.
Ew.
74?
74 picks.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm leaving now. Bye.
Wow, that is... Is anyone else strangely curious to kind of read some of those?
No.
Just to kind of see what the storyline is?
Nope.
Do they, mix up their toys and it's like a meet cute?
No.
Is it like a good influence on Sid? Wow. You know, I regret a lot of things on this podcast, but this game is not one of them. This is a shining moment for all of us. And Patience,
You're welcome.
I'm so glad you brought it to us.
You're welcome, Nick. I mean...
I, for one, regret nothing.
I'm glad I can contribute.
Well, I think there's no better place to end the episode than right there. Pretty sure we got to go out on that high note. Justin, thank you so much for joining us, and also, I'm sorry.
I feel like I need to scrub my brain a little bit now, that thought.
Well, before you do that, would you like to tell the people where they can find you and all your content via oneofus.net? You know, tell them about the Got Ham stuff that we've been doing. I've been having a great time with that. And, of course, Breakfast Pub and all that good shit.
Oh, no, please, you were about to name all of them, so go ahead.
I think I didn't name one, which is Eye on the Prize.
And Screener Squad.
But that... Yes, which Patience has been a part of as well. And then, you know what? I'm just going to plug this as well. If you guys do like reading fanfiction stuff, I do have a fanfiction page on fanfiction.net. Look up Z Gamer, the author. I actually currently author a couple stories with a friend of mine, and it's been a lot of fun. We don't do those dirty fanfics. Don't get me wrong. But we actually do write some legit stories that have gotten a huge fan base. So
that's badass, man.
I am insanely curious right now. I did not know we were playing the game with a fanfictioner.
Oh yeah, no. Look it up.
Is that a word? Is that a thing that you are? What is the term?
Just fanfiction author, I guess. I don't know.
Fictioner. You're a fictioner.
I like that better.
We got to give you a label. That's catchy.
No. There's we got 4 stories. I wrote ones on Wolf Among Us, Walking Dead, Bully, the video game from back in the day, and then the most popular one that I work with my friend is a Mass Effect Halo crossover. That's really popular.
Badass.
So.
Wow. Yeah. Man, we might actually have to read some of those on air.
You know what? we could do a Stranger Than fan fiction that's not just the creepy stuff. You want to review my fan fictions. No.
Trust me, when you do it in my voices, it's going to become creepy. If you read anything in a Bill Cosby voice and try to make it not sexually creepy anymore.
He left the bus and then he went down with the people in the...
Now, what you see, Commander Shepard didn't know was that Master Chief was actually fighting Reaper's Law before he even tried to let that Jello pudding pop.
Jello pudding pop.
And then, of course, Sid and Andy got together and then used the other toys that they wanted.
Oh my god.
And then they realized that Andy had a younger sister, and well, I mean, one thing led to another.
Okay, now you're slipping into the Colonel, a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I may be a simple country fried sexual offender, but this has gone way off the rails.
Holy shit.
So yes, you can find me on there and on those podcasts. We actually just did a review on Donnybrook with Patience as well, so that'll be up in the next day or two.
The fucking Donnybrook.
Yeah.
I love that. It's great. So Patience, what about you?
Well, as always, you can find me on oneofus.net. Various shows. My big one is Deliberations of Doom. But I also... Wow.
Thank you, Invaders.
Okay. All right. And then you can find me on Justin's show, Screener Squad, Highly Suspect Reviews. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, prof.patience. Yay. Okay.
All right, so we're definitely I don't know what the version of punch drunk is, but we're definitely podcast drunk right now. So we will see you guys later. Thank you guys so much for listening. And until next week, we're about to be out and we're out.